So I've made it to day 4 of my Daniel fast, and today was a bit more challenging because it's a Saturday and there's lots of just snacking going on with the kids, and they want all this junk food that we have and pizza for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And anyway, I was able to just push past that and just focus on God and where he's bringing me and where he's leading me on all this. And so I started the day by reading this. So the book is the Daniel Fast. And day 4 says, drink up. And they always give you Bible verses to study. But the one that they have in here says, if anyone thirsts, let him come to me and drink. Rivers of living water will brim and spill out of the depths of anyone who believes in me this way, just as the scripture says. And so it's just acknowledging that you need water to survive. We all know that. And I was talking with Kendall about this just a little bit ago. And he had a good idea, I guess, about why God made it that way, why God made us need water to survive. And he thinks that it could just be to show non-believers, to give non-believers a metaphor, something to relate it to spiritually. So your body needs water to live. You need to drink water to live, but your spirit needs that water from God. So we need to let God be the water for our spirits and fill us up. So really quick, I just want to read from John chapter 4, verse 7. A woman of Samaria came to draw water. Jesus said to her, give me a drink, for his disciples had gone away into the city to buy food. Then the woman of Samaria said to him, how is it that you, being a Jew, ask a drink from me, a Samaritan woman? For Jews have no dealings with Samaritans. Jesus answered and said to her, if you knew the gift of God and who it is who says to you, give me a drink, you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water. The woman said to him, sir, you have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. Where then do you get that living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob, who gave us the well, and drank from it himself, as well as his sons and his livestock? Jesus answered and said to her, whoever drinks of this water will thirst again, but whoever drinks of the water that I shall give him will never thirst. But the water that I shall give him will become in him a fountain of water springing up into everlasting life. The woman said to him, sir, give me this water, that I may not thirst, nor come here to draw. So Jesus reached out to people who weren't Jewish, and the people around that area. They all knew that the Jews followed the one true living God, and I don't know why they don't choose to worship the same God. But ultimately, they do acknowledge that the God of the Jews is the living God. And here Jesus is fresh, he's there, he's living and walking with them. And, he just told her that he will give her living water. He will fill her spirit. And then it goes on to say, he says to call her husband. And she said, I have no husband. And then Jesus says, you have well said, I have no husband, for you have had 5 husbands, and the one whom you now have is not your husband. In that you spoke truly. The woman said to him, sir, I perceive that you are a prophet. Our fathers worshipped on this mountain, and you Jews say that in Jerusalem is the place where one ought to worship. Jesus said to her, woman, believe me, the hour is coming when you will neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem worship the Father. You worship what you do not know. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. The hour is coming, and now is when the true worshippers will worship the Father in spirit and truth, for the Father is seeking such to worship him. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So right there, it's just saying how she's basically saying that it's not okay to worship. The Jews are being hypocrites. They're saying that you can't worship anywhere but on this mountain in Jerusalem. And Jesus just told her, that true worship is of the spirit and truth. And he's saying that you don't have to be on the mountain. You don't have to be in Jerusalem. You don't have to be at a church. You don't have to be anywhere specific. If you're worshiping in spirit and truth, if you're praying in spirit and in truth, God is going to hear you, and he's going to answer that. So drink up was the thing today. And the author of this book tells a story about how she woke up in the morning and all she could think about was how thirsty she was, and she needed water to drink. And then she got a cold glass of water, and she felt so much better after she did. And she mentions that there's other benefits of water than just satisfying your thirst. They remove toxins from your body. Toxins are poisonous substances that can cause damage to the body, resulting in all kinds of illness and health problems. She then says, our souls also need hydration, refreshing streams of living water that only Jesus can bring into our thirsty lives. Jesus says, whoever drinks of the water that I will give him will never be thirsty again. So we just need to look at it spiritually. That's what this fast is all about for me, because physically I feel great. I've been really happy with where my body's taken me this past year. I'm satisfied with, being in better shape than I was before I had 5-0. And just having more power and control over what I do put into my body. And it's really helped me with just overall health, and like my skin cleared up completely. My back doesn't hurt anymore. My knees don't hurt. Like I'm way more mobile than I've been, and like I can attribute that all to just the way that I've been eating. But this wouldn't have happened if it weren't for God, because in the beginning of my fast, I asked God to help me. I prayed, and I prayed for him to help me through that. And this was last year. So I prayed for him to help me through, and I was like, whatever you need to do, God, please just make this easy for me. Make it easy for me to eat healthy and make better choices. And then that's when I developed my food allergies. So strangely enough, I started to get sick after I would eat certain things, and it was like God answered that prayer. And even though he answered it in a way that I didn't really want or expect, basically he was just like, that food's off the table. You don't get that anymore. And so the things that I found after taking a sensitivity test that I'm sensitive to are eggs, bananas, and vanilla, and dairy. So vanilla and dairy, those two are in everything that I would just indulge myself in. Ice cream, cake, I don't even know, just everything. And so to me, that was an answered prayer, God showing me, you don't need those foods. And I couldn't do it on my own. I did not have the willpower to give up those foods on my own. So he did that through my food allergies. And even though it's something that sucks, and you don't wish that on anybody, without that, I would not be where I am today in my body, my mind, my spirit, everything. And I wouldn't have ultimately reached the level of self-satisfaction and confidence that I do have in myself again. Because growing up as an athlete, always active, always having something motivating you to have a great body and have good workouts, and not really having to eat very well, and then going to having 2 kids and not doing really anything significant, being a stay-at-home mom, and then going to the office, working in the office, working from home, all those things, nothing requires physical abilities at all. And so in the past, the working out was always something that like made me feel good about my body, but I never ate good. And now that I have eaten good, I just look back and I'm just like, man, I wonder what would have become if I had done this a lot sooner. If I had given my life to God a lot sooner and prayed to him and had him answer my prayers. And with this fast, I really do like encourage people to pursue the same things. Open up your heart to God and give him your life, and he will give you life. He will awaken things in you that you didn't know were there. And so that same chapter that I read from with the Samaritan woman, she goes and finds her people and she brings them back to meet Jesus. And she's like, hey, this is the Messiah. This guy's for real. He told me everything that I ever did. And so those people needed to see him to believe. And I hear that a lot from people that, I've talked to about Jesus before. They need to see something to believe. And my answer to that is, when everyone has seen something supernatural in their life. We've all had times, where it's like, wow, that was a miracle. Like, what happened right there? And like, people credit oftentimes some spiritual other beings, but honestly, it's God. God has control. Once we leave this earth, we're gone. And God is everywhere. And so if you need to see something to believe, just look at each day. Like, find something beautiful in each day and know that there's a creator of it. And I know that people, when it comes down to it, everyone believes in a higher being. They believe in a creator. But when you accept the fact that Jesus is God, that's when you'll experience it truly, and you will see it in every single day. And you'll feel that presence in your life, and you'll turn a bad thing into a good thing. Just like with my food allergies, it's something so simple and so like stupid and like petty sounding, but it changed my life. And I'm super thankful for that and forever grateful. So yeah, thank you for watching. And I just pray for everybody that you have these experiences in your life and that you give God a chance to do those things for you.